Today we're going to talk about how I get repairs done around the house, assuming I can't do it myself. So recently, over the last couple of months, there were two projects that I really wanted to get done, and I would have preferred not to handle them myself. Number one is that I wanted some electrical drops in both bedrooms and in the kitchen. I didn't feel like one electrical outlet in the bedroom was enough. I wanted something that could go all the way around the room for where the computer was, without having to run the extension cord. Would have been nice to have it in the opposite corners of the room. The other was for the kitchen. There was only one drop in the kitchen. We added two more drops so that we could run coffee makers, the refrigerator, the washer dryer, things like that. That was project number one. So we brought a guy in to do the drops, and he did the drops no problem. Then we wanted him to replace two electrical outlets. They were to the point where you had to wiggle the plug just to make them work. One of them got so bad that every 5 minutes you had to wiggle the plug, and that's where the aquarium was. I wanted that plug replaced, and he just outright refused. Would not do it. I'm not sure what the electrical regulations are, whether you can do this sort of thing yourself, but I managed to get the electrical plugs replaced, and that's all I'll say about it. The other project is the gate. It was horrible. The casters need to be replaced, and I don't weld. We also had a brace over here that was totally disconnected, and I don't weld. So I asked Toon, find somebody. I want to replace the gate. I didn't want to repair it. Let's replace the gate. And she said she'd find somebody.
One eternity later.
So I'm sitting there watching YouTube one day, and Toon comes rushing in and saying that one of the neighbors, a couple of houses down, was getting their front entryway raised. If you check out episode 5, you'll see that we get flooding here on a fairly regular basis. So far it's never come up into the house, but it does get into our yard, and it's difficult to get in and out. Anyway, they were raising their entryway to avoid that problem in the future, and she said, we need to do that. They were pouring sand and pouring concrete there, and we rushed over there and we took some pictures of it. So I contacted the gentleman. He spoke broken English, and I got my Google Translate out, and we worked out how much it was charging them. The gentleman that was doing it for them talked to Toon, and she arranged for him to come over here and take some measurements of our yard and find out how much it was going to cost, what was going to be involved, etc. I told her, I said, I'm good for it. We need some curb appeal. We're going to be selling this place in a few months anyway. He came over, and he did everything. He brought in the sand. He brought in the labor. He poured the concrete, raised the brickwork, arranged for a gentleman to come and lay the tile. We had to buy the tile. We had to buy the paint for the gate. He had a guy that did welding. And whenever I spoke to the gentleman that was doing the gate, painting it and welding it, he was just scrubbing it with a wire brush. I said, I want all that old paint off. I don't want any of the old paint left on there, because it was starting to flake off pretty badly. I want it all gone and a new coat on there. And as you can see from some of the pictures here, he didn't take it all off. He didn't even smooth it. When we left the house, I think he just slapped some paint on it. But please be aware, Thailand has some pretty severe defamation laws. You can't even get on Yelp and leave a bad review sometimes without them coming after you. So I'm not saying he did a bad job. I will just show you pictures and let you decide whether it was good or bad. Long story short, too late, I think we were dealing with a local handyman. I think he arranged for some concrete to be delivered. I think he arranged for the sand to be delivered. I think he got some of his buddies together, and they just kind of do this on the side. I don't think this was a company the way I think of companies in the U.S. They gave us an invoice. It was just scratched on a piece of paper. Okay? So, good or bad, I don't know. We got it done. It looks pretty good, with the exception of the gate. And like I said, we'll be out of here in a couple of months anyway, so as long as everybody's happy, I'm happy.
Here is a price breakdown of the project. I kept track of it as we went along, and as you can see here, this was a remarkably good deal considering the amount of labor that went into it, and material. But I do feel that the way things are handled here, at least here in the village, is that they wait for somebody to come by that happens to do what you need done. You don't go look for them, they wander by and you flag them down.
I really hope that you tune in Thailand in the future. And let me know in the comments if there's something you would like to know.
Remember clicking past all those YouTube ads? YouTube makes money on those. The content creators don't, unless you subscribe.